name's Rebecca Hartman. I'm one of the co-owners of the Bridge Social in Uxbridge, Ontario. Welcome to our little organic coffee shop. So our store is obviously called the Bridge Social. So we are all about socializing and bringing community together. So whether that's people in here or businesses and vendors and local farmers to sell their products, we try our best to bring it in. So everything in our store is Canadian, from our organic coffee, produced in Toronto, and our huge line of organic premium teas and body care products. We have anything from vegan to not vegan to gluten-free to not gluten-free. We try our best to sort of hit all the nails on the head, but most importantly to us, we want to contribute back to our own village that we live in. So a lot of the vendors that we have in here were actually sought out from the Uxbridge Farmers Market. We thought to ourselves, how can we bring in, selfishly, these vendors that are only there in the summer on Sundays and have people shop during the week to buy the same products if they can't come on Sunday, or in the off season, such as the fall, winter, and the spring. How can we continue to keep these farmers going by giving them shelf space and exposing their product to our community? So at one point we actually brought a little mini farmers market in here to branch the summer market into their Christmas market, to show our community that, hey, you can actually buy these products in store. So yeah, so it's important to support the people and the businesses around you because it always directly impacts the community. So to actually wrap your head around what that means, it can be difficult from a tangible, immediate standpoint. But what it means is people that live and work in our community, if the money keeps continuing a cyclic motion, then other things will benefit. So whether it is resources within the township organizations, your access to food immediately with farms, you're supporting your friends and your family, and you're creating a happiness, which might sound silly, but it does occur when you're supporting each other, a happiness that is contagious within your community. So it starts very sort of bottom and works its way up on many different social aspects, but when you support and eat local, you immediately benefit yourself. So whether it could be your body, you want to eat things from your own backyard, so versus bringing in from things from China and California, Florida, etc. Just eat from your backyard. You are reducing the amount of your footprint, so things that are traveling really far distances, boats that are moving, planes that are moving, cars that are moving, when it can come directly from one person's hand. And Jenna, when you talk about regenerative farming, to me it's important that a farmer has a template that is mindful. So they're thinking about the community, they're thinking about the soil, they're thinking about the whole ecosystem of how can we take less pressure off and take too much from our earth and really just do a small batch and human scale operation. So somebody like Foggy River Farm, everything they do is to human scale. So they don't bring in massive crop machinery to get all of their herbs out, etc. They do everything by hand. They get to visually see, this herb, is ready to go and this one isn't, versus the bigger companies that literally just clear everything and throw it into a container and sell it to you. You have people that actually care about what's going into the product and what is going ultimately into your body and what kind of impact that has in our community. So when a farm looks at how it impacts the animals, the bugs, the plants and the trees and the water, and how it can continuously all work together in one motion, that to me is super, super important. And it's a lot of work, so it's not the easy way out. So when you see a farm doing something like that, you know that they care and they're putting their love into it. It's not always about cash, how can we do things very quickly. There is a very slow, again, mindful process, and to me that is where I want to put my money, and I value that kind of process. So my message to consumers would be to do your research, and sometimes that can be scary. However, in today's age, we have access to any information that we need. So it makes it a bit easier. So if you're going to buy a product and you have the option of buying something that is compostable, that can go either in your bin or in our waste management system, versus something that's plastic and is going to be in the ocean for 250 years, take that second to make a choice. So they only might be $1.50 difference, but that plastic that's sitting in the ocean for 250 years is actually impacting directly your life and your family's life down the road. So just reading and exposing yourself to what kind of information that you need to make a good, healthy choice. I put effort into going and researching the food that I'm actually eating. So especially in the summer when we can eat stuff that's local versus always going to the grocery store, I went to as many farms as I could. So there was probably, let's say 5 or 6 farms last year, and one of them I thought, because it said it was organic and I was buying food from them, I felt a little off, so I actually went and visited the farm, and unfortunately what I was presented was, you know, not necessarily an operation that I wanted to invest my own money into. You know, anything from, because they had an organic label, they were still very verbal about, but we can use these 5,000 chemicals, or we can do things like that because the organic stamp said that we could. And then you look at a different farm locally and they don't have that organic stamp. They didn't pay that $10,000 because, you know, they want to do things legitimately, organically, and not use chemicals and look after the land. So just go and get the information and not always focus on what the label says, which is important, but try your best to go to the farms and visit and, you know, meet those families that maybe your kids are going to be playing with, you're going to be swimming with at the local pool, or they're going to be in camps together. Just try your best to create a relationship. So for me, consumer message is be mindful of every penny that you're spending. We're not perfect, but do try your best because it will for sure impact your direct livelihood. When it comes to eating food, Jenna, because humans and animals were all part of the same system, if you are eating directly from your backyard with that system that you're exposed to, so whether it's, you know, your bacteria, what's going on in your gut, we're all connected. If you can eat what is right in front of you, that you literally live and breathe, you will fully be impacted by the nutrients in that product. So I know people talk about that with honey, they talk about it with flowers, teas, etc. I'm not going to have the same impact on, let's say, a chamomile tea that's come from, I don't even know if they have chamomile tea in China, but I'm going to say this, that's come from China. That tea would impact that community directly in China versus that tea coming over to us here in Canada and me drinking it. Yes, it would have some sort of nutritional value, but not to its fullest potential. So eat where you can within, I'm not even kidding, within like 10 kilometers is always the best, but even just within our own country, try your very best to do that as well. I think I feel like I've learned a lot even in the last 6 months. I thought I knew who Rebecca was, but I'm constantly learning and trying to better myself. I'm just always on that mission, and that's okay. I think we should always be on that mission. So change is good, but scary. So I went from a municipal job, which I loved, with the camps and recreation and Jumpstart and helping the community. So I had that vibe of being invested in my town, but I also had this side of me that was so passionate about food and where things come from and being clean and just trying my best to be as local as possible. So when my partner Julie and I opened the store, we thought this is a clean template where we can literally do whatever we want and impact our community. So it could go 2 ways. You open a business and you impact your community in a poor way, or it could be a great way. So one of our ways, not just having the local vendors come in, is we started a Shut the Cup Up program. So you had to bring your own cup to our store. We had our own cup library, so you could borrow if it came back, whatever. If it didn't, whatever, it boomeranged. Or we had a bamboo bridge social cup that you could purchase and be part of our program. So you just continuously reuse that cup. So we actually didn't have any biodegradable, compostable, which are a joke by the way, cups until the pandemic. But we wanted to make sure we can impact our community, not just with products, but also the garbage that's, you know, coming and going constantly. So the transition from, you know, a municipal job into a business, I feel like I had a same skill set, but it was really eye-opening to, you know, okay, this is like from the ground up how we can make a difference in our town.